Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of One Hit Wonders, the show where we take a look at those oddities, these bands that formed, that released one album and you never heard from them again, or those super groups that had all the hoopla going on. They put out an album and before you know it, it fizzles into nothing. Those bands, acts, whatever, one and done. One album, that's it, gone from the scene. So today we're going to look at 10 more. All right, we got a lot more of these to cover, so don't fret. Lots more happening. I got a big stack of stuff I've already still pulled that I haven't gotten to yet, and I have a whole list of other things I need to go find in, where I got all my stuff. So let's start off today here. We've got, this was actually a collaboration that was a long time in the making. And I think when the album came out, people were expecting something different. I know I personally was. And the guys have not gone back to do another one since. So will they ever? I don't know. But I'm talking about Storm Corrosion, self-titled from 2012. So this is the album, the union of Steven Wilson, the time of Porcupine Tree, although Porcupine Tree was kind of getting ready to put to rest by that time, and Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth. All right, they of course had worked together previously. Steven had done some producing for the band. They'd did some collaborations before, but this was the first time they actually decided, let's put a project together, right? So it's a really mellow record. I think a lot of people were surprised at just how mellow this actually is. It's got some really nice musical passages, a lot of acoustic guitars and kind of floaty keyboards, both guys singing, right, dreamy vocals and all that kind of stuff, but it ain't really rock. It's certainly not metal. It's, I guess you can kind of call it prog. It's kind of folky in spots. It's kind of got a little bit of psych influences. Not a lot of songs on here. Most are pretty lengthy. I don't know. To be honest with you, this really never did much for me. I wanted to love it because I love both of these guys, but it just really, really mellow. Again, a pleasing listen, but just I don't know. And the sparseness of like the CD booklet just basically kind of exemplifies the whole album. It's definitely more of a chill album. All right, it's got that vibe, and I think that's what they were going for. I just don't know if it's what like a lot of us were expecting. Not terrible by any means. Not something I go back to very often though. But I know a lot of people dig it. So, 1981 from New Jersey, a band called Steeplechase. I mean, this should have been huge. 1981, maybe a couple of years too early for this big, bright, commercial sounding, hard rock, big soaring hooks. This is just melodic rock of the U.S. melodic rock at the highest order. Kind of think of like maybe Boston, but even a little bit more commercial sounding. It's got a song on here called My Mind's Made Up that is just absolutely terrific. Should have been a huge, huge hit. You know what? Like I said, I think these guys come out 2-3 years later, this might have done really, really big business. For 1981, kind of forgotten, unfortunately. Steeplechase, self-titled, re-released by Roadrunner Records in conjunction with Metal Mind Productions a few years back. Definitely worth seeking out. If you haven't, Steeplechase, dig that a lot. All right, I just had to talk about these guys at some point in time, right? 1970s Attila. One of the most notorious albums of all time. Basically, yeah, that's Billy Joel right there. Billy Joel and a guy named Jonathan Small on drums. So basically, this is a duo. Billy on organ and vocals. Mr. Small's on drums. It's basically pedal to the metal, heavy organ-led, heavy rock, all right, and prog. This is obviously way before, no, not that far before. A couple of years before Billy decided, hey, I want to be the piano man. Right here, he's getting all this hard rock out. If you love like Vanilla Fudge, Iron Butterfly, Deep Purple, that sort of thing, that's what you get here. I've gone on record before saying this is one of the first instances on one of the tracks. I believe it's on, is it on Wonder Woman or Godzilla? I don't even remember which, or maybe Brain Invasion. I don't remember. One of the songs on here, Jonathan Small actually does some blast beats, right? So blast beats, of course, very prevalent in extreme metal, black metal, death metal, that sort of thing. Here you got 1970 on a rock record. It's like, what? I actually, there are critics hated this, savaged this. There are people that have called this the worst album ever made. I dig this album. It's a lot of fun. You don't even miss the guitars. It's just Billy screaming, playing incredible Hammond organ, or maybe it's not even Hammond, I don't know, whatever, he's playing organ, and some really, really acrobatic drums. These just, Wonder Woman, Revenge is Sweet, you got Amplifier Fire, right? You got Brain Invasion, Holy Moses, Tear This Castle Down. It's heavy. And some of the organ work that Billy's doing is just absolutely mind-bending, right? It's just really cool stuff. It's kind of cheesy. I mean, the album cover is absolutely awful, right? But if you haven't heard it, check it out. It's pretty wild. All right, next up, let's go to the UK. Here's a band that not a lot of people know about, and there's not a lot written about them. This is actually a Rise Above Relics re-release that includes their only known album, which was called Green-Eyed. God, Jesus, what is this album called? Green-Eyed, and you can't even freaking read it. Green-Eyed God Plus, okay? But the album, the CD itself is called Jewels of the Forest. The band I'm talking about is Steel Mill. All right, not to be confused with the New Jersey Steel Mill Band that Bruce Springsteen kind of came up with. This is Steel Mill from the UK. Green-Eyed God, all right, was the name of the original album released in 1972. All right. Heavy, hard rock, even at times a little bit of proto-metal meets full-on prog rock. You got all these weird kind of Jethro Tull moments, with woodwind, sax, and flutes and things, and keyboards, acoustic guitars, and then you got these big bone-crunching, Black Sabbath riffs, all right, little bits of Atomic Rooster. Sometimes the organ gets pretty damn heavy. I just love this stuff. So this has their Green-Eyed God album, plus a bunch of extras. They had some unreleased stuff and things like that, demos, and even so they got back together in a bunch of years ago and recorded a couple tracks. One track in 2010. Got a couple live things on here. Very cool. If you can find this, again, this is on Rise Above Relics. Really, really cool album from a forgotten band who nobody knows shit about them, right? But Steel Mill. So like I said, if you can't, you probably can't get the Green-Eyed God album on LP or CD. If you can, cool. But here you got Jewel of the Forest, which has that and a bunch of other things, which is really cool. Oh, I love that stuff. Awesome. All right, let's go to Germany, 1972. We're staying on 1972. A lot of early 70s stuff here on this one. Missing Link, Nevergreen. Probably one of the most bizarre album covers ever, although I always thought it was kind of cool. There's the guys. These are German kind of jazz rock and bits of prog. Got lots of sax and keys on the album, some lengthy tunes. I dig this album. A lot of cool groove on it, too. I think these guys were kind of onto something, but, this is it, one and done. You can get the CD on Garden of Delights. Pretty damn cool. I like it. Just so you can see the whole picture here. There you go. Got the guitar on fire. I like it. Good stuff. Good, like I said, good jazzy rock with plenty of little prog intricacies. Love it. All right. Also, we're going to stay on 1972, coming back to the States, Virginia, for the band called Short Cross, Arising. Kind of an evil-looking album cover, right? Kind of bleak. Very cool, bluesy, hard rock, bits of prog, lots of cool analog keyboards. You got Hammond and Moog and electric piano, and I believe a little bit of Mellotron, if I remember correctly, on this. A lot of cool guitar work. Pretty rocking. You got, the full original album, the one and only album, and then a bunch of different mixes and unreleased tracks on here. So definitely cool to check that one out. Also from the U.S., 1971, a band called Salem, Mass. Witch Burning. All right, another pretty cool and kind of evil-looking album cover. But, these guys were basically a heavy prog band with lots of space rock leanings. You got a lot of really cool mini Moog solos on this album. Lots of biting guitar work. This is as rare as it gets, man. Pretty cool stuff. I love these rarities, man. I love these one and done rarities. Stuff is so cool. Next up, also from the U.S., from Los Angeles, as a matter of fact, 1971, self-titled debut, Shotgun Limited. Right, there's the guys there, right in one of the sides of the gun. These guys must have been big fans of Deep Purple. It's very Deep Purple influenced, although, lots of Hammond organ, really, really crisp guitar work, although you can also hear a little bit of Iron Butterfly as well. And some of the more fast-paced stuff, less organy stuff, reminds me of like early garagey Grand Funk Railroad with maybe a little bit of like the early Doobie Brothers, the more hard rockin' Doobie Brothers stuff from the first couple albums. That's what you kind of get here. Dig this a lot. Really, really good stuff. All right, from Australia and New Zealand, members made up of both of those countries. You've got Fanny Adams, self-titled, 1971, signed to MCA Records, died a quick death. If you love early Led Zeppelin with lots of crazy Jimmy Page guitar work, you'll probably dig this album. Pretty fun, pretty rockin'. Like the Mighty Zeppelin, some cool bluesy hard rock, little bits of folky acoustic elements as well. Good, strong album. Good vocals. They were signed to a major label for a reason. Pretty good, but then poof, they're gone. And last one for this episode, from Germany once again, also from 1971, Murphy Blend, First Loss. Murphy Blend, all right, so we got some kind of weird smoke coming out of a pipe. We'll see, kind of a cool painting, kind of different, right? Got a ship there and all sorts of other things. You look really hard. So that's the smoke is made up of all sorts of cool stuff. There's the guys in the back. Good, solid, early 70s German hard rock, lots of organ and guitar. Kind of reminds me of their contemporaries, Birth Control, right? But you got lots of influence like Vanilla Fudge, especially Iron Butterfly, Uriah Heep, and Deep Purple. So if you dig that heavy, crunchy organ and guitar, bluesy hard rock thing, you have come to the right place. Good stuff, as is all this. So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned over the next couple days for another 10. All right, we'll just keep kind of going on this until I've kind of run out of bands to talk about. So I figure for a lot of you, I guess this kind of, in a weird way, is like a continuation of our forgotten favorites, right? So here it's like forgotten, only released one album and then we forgot about them. So lots of these. Like I said, my list is long to cover yet, so we'll get to it. So this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. So coming up tonight, two special shows for you. We got an interview with Jacko Jaksic from King Crimson. He's got a new solo album coming out. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. And then also tonight we've got the Hudson Valley Squares get together once again for some Monday Night Must-See TV here on YouTube, where we're going to be doing another rant talking about those bands that really changed their sound at some point during their careers. We're each going to talk about one band that we feel that change in sound worked out for the better, and then another band where that change in sound did not work out for the best, right? So that's coming up tonight with Nick Franco, Chris Allo, Ryan Scow. I've invited one other person to join us. I'm just not sure if he's going to make it tonight. We'll see. But anyway, so we'll see you tonight. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.